Okay, I'm going to make a video for you talking about the calendar and the Section 2 assignments and things like that. I received an email or two about confusion using the calendar and the due dates and stuff like that, mainly due to students who did not read the assignment instructions or the very first announcements when we started the course. But you have to follow your instruction assignment instructions. Each particular one might have multiple things, and for your calendar, the say it for discussion board, the due date for say the 7 habits assessment discussion says or said August 30th was the final due date. But if you go to the assignment instructions, you click on that and you can, I don't want to edit my discussion board, but you could probably view the discussion board. And if you go to that, it would bring up the actual assignment. And it says that your initial post must be completed on or before the 28th of August at 11:59 p.m. That gives people time to reply to you, so you don't just jump on there and the last minute and take 5 minutes to do your assignment. No one has a chance to reply to you if you make all your posts at 10:50 or something on that 30th on the due date of the 30th. That's not fair. People can't see and respond to what you've done. Also, if I'll go back from that and go back to my calendar. Like the very first announcement, let's see, very first one, right on August 15th, the announcement and email that was posted on Blackboard and sent out. It will say right here, keep in mind that your discussion forum instructions give 2 due dates, even though your calendar only marks the respond by due date. That's just because it doesn't let the instructor put multiple due dates in there. Your initial post must be made at the date indicated in the instructions. So make sure that you follow your instructions, because that's what you're going to get graded on. Did you follow the instructions? So I'm going to go back to the calendar tab here. Now I have a lot of things listed here. I mean, I've unchecked a lot of boxes, but and I've just selected one of the college success CRNs, and I also clicked the personal one. Like, I don't have any of my personal entries on this Blackboard calendar, but you can. Now, if I check all, you don't have this many boxes. I hope you don't. Have that many boxes to check or uncheck, but you should be able to pick the boxes for the classes that you're taking this semester. And I would also recommend that you click your one for personal, so that when you write, you can write personal things on your calendar or reminders for yourself to do things. Keep it in mind that so you got discussions for section 2. One of them is to look at the 7 rights and from your textbook. Under the there's a little box for doing things right, and you're supposed to look at that and choose 3 of those out of the 7 and talk about it. So that part right here that's the due date. So what I've done for you this time is I put a reminder in here for you to create your initial thread for the 7 rights discussion before the date on the assignment instructions. I will not do that every time, most likely, so you needed to be able to do that yourself, to remind yourself to work on stuff and get your stuff done. So the way you would do that is in your calendar tab, you can click on a certain day. So let's just say that I go, today's the 1st, so I click on the 1st, and then you can pick your calendar. Of course, you don't have this many things to pick from, I hope, but you would click personal, and you would say, start my discussion on the 7 rights. So that means, that's a reminder that you can give to yourself, and you want to say you know that's due by the 4th, so according to your instructions, so you can make it go from today, at a certain time to, doesn't really matter, but you can put your time in there if you want, or if you just want to have something on your calendar to remind you, that's fine. So you put the dates on here, and when you do that, you just click save, and then it'll pop up there for you as long as you have your personal tab selected. Start my discussion on the 7 rights, and it'll show it right there, and you'll be able to see that. I won't be able to see that you've typed it on there necessarily. The only things I can see are the things that I put on there myself, or depending on what boxes I have checked over here. So start your discussion. You can make yourself a little note in your calendar. So it does have due dates, whatever's attached to certain assignments, so that you can, see those. But as I said on the very first day, there are different due dates for certain assignments, multiple due dates, and there's a reason for that. One, like I said, for discussion, just to give an opportunity for other people to see what you wrote and respond to it, give people something to respond to, and then the other part is to, hopefully, for you to log in at least, more than one time. You need to make sure that you log into Blackboard every day, and you need to check your college email every day. So it's just part of your online class. It doesn't take long. You can just see if there's anything been added, say like this video, which I can give you a video quiz on that, and I'll do that. I'll give you the answer to the question at the end. Tell you what to type in the magic box to get 100, free 100 if you do it. So, pretty simple task. But just to get you, you need to get familiar with your calendar. And since I had, 2 or 3 questions about the calendar, I figured I would make this little video to help you, and then reward you with an opportunity for a 100. But do keep in mind that your calendar is just a guide, and it does no good if you just follow a calendar and you never actively take part in it. So I think if you look at the calendar and add your own little things to help remind you, you'll be more successful. And then real quick, I'll just pop over to the section 2 assignments that you have to do. There's a video on section 2, which most of you have already watched. If you're wanting access to the assignments, you've got to mark it reviewed. You got to watch it. You don't have to, learn from it, but you can, because it might come in handy, because you do have a culminating quiz at the end of the section 2. So when you click on that, it's got all your assignments, but then you can, once you've done your video, watch your video, then you can click on the discussions, and when you're looking at the discussions, remember the due date on the calendar is just going to be whatever the final due date is for the replies. So on the first part, the 7 rights discussion, you have to create an initial thread before the due date above, which is September 4th for this one, and then your replies are due 2 days later on the 6th. It tells you, the guidelines. So those are in your syllabus, but they're also restated here. You choose 3 of the 7, clearly state which ones you're writing about, and discuss the strategies that you either use or you would like to use. Be sure you use proper grammar, punctuation, spelling, capitalization, all that stuff. That has to be done by the 4th, and then by the 6th you have to have replied to at least 3 other students, and the response should be 3 insightful sentences. And I kind of give a funny little example that I made up on the fly about that. Like if you just say I agree and that's all you respond, that's not really a good response. But you should use full sentences, okay? So your task is 1 proper initial post before the specific due date, and 3 proper replies to 3 other students before the final due date, and that's how you get full credit. If you mess up and you miss the due date on the first one, I put a 0 in there. But if you meet the due date for the second part, I might award you with some partial credit for that. But you're not going to get the credit that someone would get by doing it correctly. Then you have a carry your own weather discussion. That starts on page 58 in your textbook. Provide examples when you successfully utilize that ability to carry your own weather. and you know, add a little bit to that, so that we can, you know, other people can probably learn about things that you've gone through and how you've responded to it well, and then maybe things where you have not responded to it well. So those situations might be able to help someone else out, you know. So then make sure you do the same thing. I just kind of put that again right here, but the due dates are different. You know, your initial thread's on Sunday, September 11th by that time, and your replies are by the 13th. So, you know, that's that part. Then you have, for assignments in section 2, you will have a quiz on the whole section, the whole part. You have to complete it by the due date. You only get one attempt. So make sure that you know the material before you start the quiz. You have a lot of time to do the quiz. It's like maybe 16 questions or something, multiple choice kind of questions. But you want to, you know, I think you have like an hour to do it. So you got plenty of time, extra time to do it. But you only get it one time, one sitting. So you can't restart it, you know. You can't pause it. So just make sure that you can sit down and do that and get it done. You also have a breaking negative cycles assignment. Now, when you click on this and it opens up, it'll say the due date right here. So if you wait till that day to download it, I mean, it's going to be really tough on you probably. Maybe not. It's not a hard assignment. But let me just show you what you have to do. I have some people that have emailed me about this particular assignment, like they don't understand it. So it says download the assignment document, which is right here. You just click on that, it will download it. Follow the instructions exactly. So that's, you know, I did that in all caps so you would see that. Then upload your completed work on or before the specified due date. So the way that works is you click this and it downloads the document, and it comes up, and I'm just going to open one, and I have to click enable editing for me here. You type your name, so I would type my name in there, my CRN 1 2 3 4 5, whatever, you know, you type your CRN in there, and then I read what it says for the instructions. And these are the pages where it actually talks about breaking negative cycles. And then here's, you know, some instructions about how to save the file properly. Like, you'll get so many points just by having a correctly formatted file name. And I'll show you how to do that. You'll lose points if you don't, because those are part of the assignment instructions. So make sure that you follow them. But then you can choose your own way to deal with things, and then what paradigm shifts need to occur, and then, you know, describe something, a negative cycle that could be broken or you have broken or whatever. And you, right here, it says type your response here. All you got to do is click that and just start typing. You know, there was one instance, blah 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 blah. You know, and then you can go on there. So then it says if you want maximum credit, use complete sentences, proper grammar. Provide enough detail that I can evaluate your understanding of what the assignment was. You know, it could be something, like I said, you know, it could be a negative cycle, something that keeps happening over and over and over. You need to, you know, somebody needs to break it. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the first one to value education in your family beyond high school, or even high school, or whatever. So, you know, but you know, you have to go through there. What paradigms caused people to see that? If anyone ever told you that education was nonsense, or, you know, that's a paradigm, it's the way you see things. Maybe you see things differently, or maybe you do now. Maybe you used to not think about it like that. Maybe you do now. What needs to be done? You know, that's the do part of the cycle. To make, you know, once the paradigm shift occurs, what needs to be done after that? And what will be the result of breaking that negative cycle? So, you know, it could be anything that falls in that category. Like I said, it could be something you observe firsthand, or one you just realize is a problem in general, like a societal problem or whatever. So, you know, as long as you follow the guidelines for that and stuff, you're going to be fine. Let's talk about saving your document. The generic name is last name underscore first name underscore college 1000 underscore CRN. That's specific. And then underscore and then breaking negative cycles. So that's a long file name, and basically all you have to do is go File, Save As, and I'll just save it, say, on my desktop, and I'll just look for my college 1000 folder here. There's a college 1000 folder, and then I'm going to, when I find where I'm going to save it, I'm going to click and highlight where it says last name. My last name is Lance, so I'll type Lance. Please don't send me a file with the file name Brent Lance, because obviously hopefully that's not you. I mean, if you are, then that's fine, but I don't think I have a student with the same name as I have. And then I'm going to leave the college 1000 alone, and then the CRN, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. You put your name, last name, underscore, first name, underscore, college 1000, underscore, your CRN. So whatever your CRN is what goes in there. And then leave that part just exactly like it is. And then you click Save. Alright, so it saved it. Alright, now pretend I typed everything out and I've finished my assignment. I go back to Blackboard and open the assignment again. Then I do not want to write submission. I don't want you to write your submission. You got that? Okay. I want you to attach the file that you saved. So I need to click by the attached file, browse my computer, and I put that in my college success folder. Lance Brent College 1000. That's it. So I'm going to click that and put that in there. Now it says, it's on there. It says do not attach over here, so if you want to take it off, you accidentally, that's not the right one, you can take it off and start over. But that's the right one. So then at the bottom, you can't see that for where you're at, so I'll bring it up here for a second. You have to click Submit. Okay? And it says submission from the previewed assignment. I'm just previewing it, so it's not saved. But you should be, yours should be on there if you attach it. So anyway, make sure that you attach it there and get that submitted by the due date, September 8th at 11:59. If you don't have yours submitted by that time, then you'll get a 0. And then I'll be able to, if yours submits, I'll be able to actually grade yours. When I click on to grade it, it'll show up for me, and everything will be fine. But since I'm not a student, I can show you in student mode what that looks like. It looks the same. If I click on my student mode button, I'll walk through it one more time because it's not going to hurt anyone. Section 2, I have to watch my video, so let's pretend I watched it. Now I'll go to section 2 and assignments, breaking negative cycles. I've already downloaded it and made a file, so I'm going to attach it. And I have to make my screen a little smaller just so you can see submit. And it goes on there. This is what I'll see when I go to grade yours, okay? I'll be able to check the name and the CRN, make sure you did that part right, and I'll be able to check the file name right over here. Lance Brent College 1000 1 2 3 4 5 breaking negative cycles. Okay, so I can check that. Okay, they got the points for properly naming it. They got it filled out up here, and then there's whatever I'm going to grade for the actual text right here. So then I can read that and give you your score. Okay, so hopefully that will help you in formatting your submission, and this will work the same way for any submission assignment that you have for me. And hopefully it'll help you with if you have other Blackboard classes too, about just the process of going through it. So I hope this video was very helpful to you. So I'm going to reward you with an opportunity to get 100 points for a quiz. And the quiz answer, it's a fill in the blank question, and it'll just be, you click on it after you've watched the video. and marked this video and marked it reviewed, you can open up the quiz. And then when you open up the quiz, all you have to do is in the box type your CRN for College 1000. And if you don't know where to find that, it's right up here. So this example that I was working in right now is 20300. Now that may not be your CRN, so make sure that you look up here before you go take the quiz and know what your CRN is, if you don't already know for College Success what your registration number is. Take that number and you type that number into the blank, your correct number, and you'll get 100 once you submit that. If you type the wrong CRN, you'll get a 0. Okay? And that'll take care of it. All right, I want you to, you can give me some feedback and email me and just say, yes or no if you want to about the video helping you. Just make sure some of you still need to work on that email formatting and setting up your email properly. Some of you are still sending me one-line emails with nothing on it except your one line or whatever you're saying. You don't start it off with a greeting or anything, and you don't put your name at the end and CRN at the end. So just keep working on that, because it does matter. So anyway, I hope the video was helpful, and I look forward to reading your work when you submit it.